Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So today we're going to be making this bohemian hula hoop dream catcher, which is really easy to make. All you're going to do is get your hula hoop. I used the smaller size from Dollar Tree and spray painted the color of your choice. In my case, I used the copper color. And I'm going to use some of these yarns that I purchased at a thrift store for, I believe they were 50 cents each, but they do have yarn at Dollar Tree and Walmart. So just pick the color of yarn you'd like. And as you can tell, I'm actually using a smaller size roll of yarn, so you don't need that much. You can also even use jute twine if you like the different colors. Once you do decide the color of yarn you're going to use or rope, go ahead and cut it. And you can see that I'm doing mine 8 feet long and just folding it in half. But you'll see that I have a lot extra at the bottom, and if you want that long length, then yes, cut it at 8 feet long. But I would recommend 6 feet if you're going to end up doing it the way I am at the end result. So just go ahead and cut it 8 to 6 feet, depending on how long you want the tail part of your dream catcher. So I'm using this blush pink color and also a gray tone yarn that I purchased again at a thrift store. But just go ahead and continue cutting them. And as you can see, I basically do the 4, put my finger there, hold it, and then do another 4 to make that division so I don't have to do it later on. So once you've done all your yarn and cut both gray and pink, go ahead and grab one color. And then what we're going to do is basically figure out where you want the center of your hula hoop or dream catcher to be at, which I'm just going to use. There's a line there where the hula hoop is attached to each other. So I'm just using that as my guide to make it the center. And then I'm going to start attaching one color of my yarn on one side of that split. So just go ahead and wrap your yarn over like so, and then under, and then just pull it through. And continue to do that to all 8 of your pieces of yarn. And I would recommend 8 to 10. You can do as many as you like, but the way I did it was I used 8 on either side of the hula hoop of yarn. So just go ahead and continue attaching all your yarns, one color to one side, and then we're going to repeat the same process to the other side with a different color. And you know, this is completely optional, completely to taste and style. You can add all different colors or rotate the colors. I mean, there's just different styles that you can do this, and it will look beautiful any way you make it. So just continue to wrap it around, as you can tell right here, and then just pull it through. Now, you know, I'm not gluing or knotting anything just yet, because I am going to start adjusting all the yarns once we've added all of them to our hula hoop. I hope everybody is enjoying their time at home. I know this is a very difficult and hard time right now for all of us. My prayers go out to every single one of you again, and all your families. Hopefully they're staying, you guys are all staying safe and not giving each other a hard time because you're not used to being at home with everyone all the time. But just try to make the best of it and stay positive. I know I'm doing a lot of deep cleaning and a lot of DIYs for everybody. So yeah, I'm trying to stay as positive as possible and as busy as possible. So hopefully everyone's doing the same. Once you're done with one yarn, just go ahead and slide them all together and leave them like this, and just kind of run your fingers through the yarn just so it can be easier for you later on. Now what we're going to do is the opposite side. And again, I grabbed the 8 yarns that I had already cut, pieces of fabric, thread, and I'm going to do the same process on the other side, which is just wrapping them around the hula hoop, over and under where it's folded together. So just continue doing this to the opposite side. And again, you can use any color, any jute twine would be really pretty also if you wanted more of that. I would say more farmhouse style or country theme style, but I think this kind of goes with any style, just depending again on the fabric and colors that you decide to use. So once you've added all your 8 pieces of yarn to both sides of your hula hoop, what we're going to do is basically kind of spread them out a little bit, just to even them out. And again, you are going to keep adjusting these basically until you are done. So once you've done that, you're kind of happy to where they're at, go ahead and set aside or move to the side the yarn that you're going to work with first. In my case would be the pink, and then I'm straightening down the opposite yarn, which is my gray, and I'm kind of just pulling it straight down. And I'm going to use one of the yarns of each color, and what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to grab the one that's closest to me, which is the pink in my case, and I'm going to cross it over all of the gray yarn and then tie it to my hula hoop, just like that. And then you can measure out where you want to add your yarn and where you want to tie it, but you don't necessarily have to, just depending on how exact you want your yarn to be placed at the bottom. I kind of just eyeballed it and figured where I wanted it from the center of my hula hoop. So once I've done that and I tied a knot, I'm going to do the same process with one of the yarns of my gray, which is the opposite side, to form an X at the center of my hula hoop. So this is the way it looks. Once I've done that and I've tightened them and I'm happy, then I'm going to add just a little dot of hot glue at the top of my hula hoop where my yarn is at, to attach it to my hula hoop to make sure it stays in place. Now I'm not adding my glue just yet to the bottom part, and I'm going to continue this process until I'm done with all my yarn. But the way I'm going to weave it is basically I'm going to again add the glue at the top to attach my yarn to my hula hoop, and then for the pink one I'm going to do is weave it and cross it underneath my first gray yarn to form another X, and then I'm going to tie it right next to my yarn at the bottom of the pink. And again, just tie a knot at the bottom of the hula hoop with your yarn. And try to pull it nice and tight. You don't have to adjust or tighten it just yet completely, but try to tighten it as much as possible. Now we're going to start continuing to weave our opposite color, which is our gray, going over and under, in other words, over the first pink and then under the second pink. Then tying it to my hula hoop at the bottom. And don't forget to add that glue at the top, or if you don't want to use any glue, you can just make a knot before you start pulling the yarn to the opposite side. Make a knot at the top of your hula hoop and it would stay in place as well. But for me, it was just easier to add the hot glue. Now just continue weaving, which in this case would be over and under. And then you're going to tie it to the bottom of your hula hoop. And again, I'm using the smallest size of hula hoop that Dollar Tree has. And if you do purchase this, say at Michael's, which I've purchased some hula hoops at Michael's as well, the smallest size there is slightly bigger than the one at Dollar Tree. So just keep an eye out for them. And again, you can use any size you'd like to do this project. Another option, if you don't have a hula hoop or you can't find them, I know they have those tube floaties that they sometimes have them at Dollar Tree, Walmart, and usually during the springtime they're kind of anywhere. You can use one of those as well. Just try to get one as thin as possible and then wrap duct tape at the top to attach it. And if you want me to make one like that, let me know in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to make a dream catcher using one of the floaties from Dollar Tree. So just go ahead and continue weaving your yarn in over and in out, over and under, I'm sorry, in the middle to form that weaving X decor in the center of your dream catcher. And basically that's what's forming your dream catcher. What I found, this would be the easiest way to make a dream catcher with a certain design in the center. There's all kinds of designs. If you even go through Pinterest or even other different channels, I'm sure they have different designs and different options of how to weave or make your dream catcher. This is just a style that I thought was really pretty, and I thought it was a lot simpler to make, so that's why I chose this weaving technique to show to you guys. So once you're done actually weaving all of your yarn, what you're going to do is adjust, make sure as you're knotting your yarn as well, you can see that I'm kind of just straightening it out. Make sure it's all nice and straight, even the way I want my yarn to be. Go ahead and pull on all of your yarns one by one individually at the bottom where you knotted it, to make sure they're nice and firm and tight in the middle of your hula hoop. And then what I did was I just kind of ran some hot glue over each individual piece of yarn where I knotted it. Now remember, where we're working with the hot glue, it's going to be the back of your dream catcher. So basically we're working with the back of your dream catcher right now. Not to say you need to make it sloppy, but if in case you're worried about noticing the hot glue on your yarn, this is going to be towards the back. Now if you're going to hang it where it's going to twist and turn and you're going to see both sides, I would recommend you just double knot the bottom. So just go ahead and flip it over once your hot glue is dry. And as you can see right here, hopefully you can tell, I have a lot of extra yarn in the bottom. And if you want it that way, go ahead and leave it that way. If not, what I did was cut that extra foot that I made or cut out at the beginning to fill in the gap in the center of my dream catcher. But I'll show you that in just a minute. So next, after we did that, go ahead and use some of the extra yarn that you have to make a hanging device. As you can tell, it's at the top in the center of my dream catcher. All I did was wrap it around and just make an opening so I can kind of hang it onto a hook or anything I'd like. So now I'm using some Greenery from Dollar Tree. And you can use any kind of greenery, or if you don't want to use greenery at all, go ahead and just grab any color of flowers you like and do the same process that I'm doing here, just attaching them to your hula hoop. I used only hot glue for this project, but you can, or if you don't feel comfortable, go ahead and grab some permanent glue or Fix-All, E6000, or if another option could be maybe using some floral wiring and wrap it around each one of the individual greeneries as well. So go ahead and just start attaching as much as you like of your greenery. I attached basically 2 leaves to both sides of my hula hoop, or from the center to the opposite sides. I didn't want too much on this dream catcher. I kind of like mine a little bit simple. Some people might think this isn't simple, but to me it is, because I could have added tons more. But yeah, just go ahead and add as much as you like, and just attach them to your hula hoop. Hold them there for a few seconds just to allow that glue to dry before you move on to your next leaf. And now what I'm going to do is figure out where I wanted my third leaf to be from both sides. So you can either do it down, sideways, or up. I decided to go ahead and put mine facing upwards in a slant kind of. So just go ahead and decide where you want to place your third leaf and add it on to your hula hoop using your hot glue again. And I think this would be great for a bedroom, over a crib, in a teenager's room, to add, you know, some little miniature clothespins, and they can add pictures to this. You can use this as a backdrop for a cake display, baby shower. The options for this kind of decoration are endless. You can use this anywhere and everywhere you like, from your home all the way to, you know, decorating a party. It would be great. I think it would be really pretty behind, say, a cake or a dessert table. I know the bohemian style is really in and popular right now, not just in home decor, but also in party decor. So yeah, this is something that you can use for a lot of different ways and a lot of different options, just depending on colors and designs that you decide to do inside the center of your hula hoop for your dream catcher. So next, after I added all my greenery, I went ahead and went in with some of these, I believe they're called lilacs, flowers from Dollar Tree, and just pulled them apart from the stem and glued them onto the center of my greenery. Now you can add them all in the center or do it the way I am, basically just in a row of my dream catcher from the center towards the opposite sides. But also let me know how you're going to use yours, or is it something that you're going to use personally in your home or for a party decoration? I'm curious to know how many people would use it for and how they would use it. And the white lilac flowers, they come 6 in a stem. So I'm using 5 of them, but you can use all 6, of course, or as many as you like. And there you have it. Now, here's where I'm going to show you, since I thought it was a little bit too long, the tail part of my dream catcher. I cut that 1 foot, and all I did was do the opposite. So where my blush pink yarn is at, I'm going to add my gray, and I'm only doing 4 of the gray and then 4 of the pink. So basically it'll be at the bottom blush pink, gray, blush pink, gray. But you can do it any way you like. And all I'm doing is the same process, but instead of doing it from the top to the bottom, I'm just going to go under and over at the bottom part with my yarn. And this is the way it looks once it's all complete. Super easy, super simple, but I think so beautiful. And it's a huge piece. It's a huge decor. So depending on the size of hula hoop, this can be your centerpiece, or just, you know, use it as is by itself. And this is the way it looks hanging. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. Everyone stay safe and stay blessed. Until next time, bye.